So there's something fun I like to do when I do presentations, and I need you guys all to help me. And this is going to bring the energy right back up, okay? So I'm going to do a video, right? And I'm going to be looking in my camera like this. I need you all to be quiet. I'm going to talk into the camera, and then I'm going to say something like, "Are you guys excited?" And then I'm going to go like this, and then you guys like bring up all the energy, right? Because we got to change it because I made it all somber, and I need you guys to like be pepped up because I'm going to be teaching you a lot of great things, okay? But I need you to be quiet and then loud. I always get nervous when I do this stuff. I like sometimes mess up, and then you guys all laugh at me. Okay. Hey guys, if you guys have been following me on social media, then you know that I've been speaking at a bunch of events recently. Some of you guys have never come out to a real estate event, so I wanted to show you guys what that looks like. Are you guys excited? You should be here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, let's see how closely you guys were paying attention, and whoever answers this wins a prize. What was the company on the business card that Shema worked at? All right, first person right here. Congratulations. You win a Raising Private Capital book. Yeah. Congratulations, congratulations. So what that means for the rest of the day, pay attention to all of the little details, because you never know, that could change your life or get you a free book. That's it, right? All right, let's talk about it. All right, so this is all about how to raise $1 million or more in 90 days or less. Be completely honest. Who looks at that and like wants to throw up? Like raise $1 million in does that look difficult? Does that, be honest? Yeah, right? Okay. You guys were supposed to get Matt Faircloth, right? Unfortunately, you're not. You're getting me. You're getting me, all right? So this is me. My name is Hone Tai. If you guys want to follow me on social media, I didn't put any of my handles. I didn't put anything up there, but it's Hone, H-O-A-N, and then Zone, Z-O-N-E, Hone Zone. So at Hone Zone, YouTube channel, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. If you guys want to be my friend, it's Hone Houdini Tai on Facebook. So there you go. Any basketball fans out here? Any basketball fans? Cool. Do you guys remember when everybody on the Knicks got hurt and then Jeremy Lin came up? Let's go, baby. This is my time. You've had your time. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. All right. Terrible. I just watched a documentary on him on HBO. It's pretty cool. All right, so in 2015, Matt Faircloth and his team, the DeRosa Group, raised $1 million in 3 months to buy this property. This was a $3 million property. He had to raise $1 million to purchase this property, 49 units, pretty cool, in Pennsylvania. Then, moving forward, what we did, and I started working with Matt, is we were able to raise $4.8 million in 2 weeks. And then $21.5 million in 2 months, right? These were recent. These were super recent. How is that possible? This was a struggle, and this seemed way easier. It's crazy, right? It's nuts. What happens is you guys have to be bold and vocal and tell everybody that you know what you're doing and that you have a property under contract that you're working on and that it's going to be an amazing deal and it's an amazing location, and bring all your friends and family, and do not be afraid to ask them. I want you guys to realize that when you guys ask them for money, it is not begging them. You are not saying, "Hey, please help me." No. Hey, I'm about to help you. I have this amazing opportunity. Flip the script, okay? I want you guys to all repeat after me. I am the prize.
I am the prize.
And I don't want you guys to ever forget it, okay? Because you guys are the ones with the opportunities. You guys are the ones with the skills. You guys are the ones trading your Saturdays to come to networking events so that you can better yourselves and do deals like this. You are the prize. You guys are doing the work. You are proving it right now. Do you guys see that? You guys, but for some of the newer people, you got to really just sit with that and believe it. Some of you guys are like, "Oh no, I've been doing this forever. I understand what you're saying." But try to take yourself back to the new people. It feels like you're begging them. It feels like, "Oh no, what if something goes wrong?" You know, guys, don't worry about that. Just be really good at what you do, and then you don't have to worry about being wrong. And if you want, share with them the risk, right? Because the people you're going to be raising money from, if they have the money, right? If they have the money, what you got to understand, they're going to put that money somewhere, right? And what are they going to put their money in? FTX, right? Look at what happened. You guys have the social responsibility to save them from themselves. When they give you the money, you are in control, right? You get to decide what happens. You get to say, okay, I'm going to pay you back. And even if the deal goes sour, guess what? You're like, I'm still going to make good on it, right? How cool is that? Okay, let's say you do a deal and it doesn't go as planned. And you're like, oh no, I don't have enough money to pay my investors back. Okay, great. You're not dead. Go do another deal. And instead of you making a whole bunch of money, pay them back. You think Sam Bankman-Fried is paying it back everybody? No, come on, right? That's, if you don't know who he is, that's the FTX dude. And if you don't know what FTX is, Google. Just kidding, right? Introduce people into your deals, right? Get them in there. It is your responsibility as their friend and as their family member to keep them safe, right? You're doing the work. You're coming into meetings like this. Put them in your deal. Treat them right. Because then what happens is 6 years later, 7 years later, when you go bigger, 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 it's like, oh, I need to raise $4.8 million in 2 weeks. How cool is that, right? So then you treat them well, then you do this. And then you still treat them well, then you do this. Now we're raising $60 million. It's a 970 unit deal. $60 million. That's crazy, right? You might do it in 3 months. Maybe it's 3 weeks. I don't know. It's big. It's a lot. It's still scary. It's still intimidating. I am the prize. I am the prize. I am the prize. I am the prize, right? It's still scary. It's a lot of money. But it's cool what you get to do. And it's an evolution. If you guys are brand new and you're like, oh, hon, I'm only trying to wholesale. Cool, fine. But that's not where you have to stop. Just know you're getting somewhere, right? You're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's okay. It's okay. Wherever you are, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And you're in this room, which is exactly where you should be, right? All right, let's keep on going. So this is going to be the timeline. There's a 1 to 30, 30, 60, 60 to 90. This is right here. The starting point is when the purchase and sale agreement is signed, okay? I want you guys to understand that. So purchase and sale agreement is signed at right there. So that means before that, you were looking at a bunch of properties and meeting with brokers and going to coffee and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Right there at that starting day 0, that's when the agreement of sale, you know, whatever you guys call it. It's properties under contract day 1. Okay, so we have this 90 days. We got to get the money. We got to close. We got to close. All right, we got 90 days. Anybody nervous? I'm nervous. There we go. By the way, these are all Matt's slides, so I don't really know what's on them. I'm just, you know. So one of the questions is, what's the biggest mistake investors make when raising capital? This is class participation. What is the biggest mistake that people make when trying to raise capital?
Overpromise.
Oh, okay, I heard overpromise. What else?
Not asking for enough.
Not asking for enough. Okay. What else?
Maybe not have the right legal structure.
That's a good one. Not having the right legal structure. Fantastic answer. Still not the right one.
Not knowing the numbers.
Not knowing the numbers. Also a good one. Good one. What else?
Not be confident.
Not believing in the price. Not what?
Not be confident.
Not being confident. All great answers. All great answers. All not what I'm looking for. Right? It's it's talking to your investors for the first time when you need the money. You have to build your investor base first. This room, there's probably millions and millions of dollars in this room. Network with everybody, your friends, your family. Make it so that they know what you do and maybe get a soft commit. Hey, you know I've been in real estate for a long time, right? You know that, right? Yeah, right? You see me on my social media feed and all that kind of stuff. Well, every once in a while, I get so many deals. You know me, I get so many deals, right? And every once in a while, I have more deals than I have money. So when that happens, I try to give my friends and family first crack. I want to give them the opportunity before I go get the money from somewhere else. Because I will, right? Because I'm the man, I'm the prize, right? I will get that money. But in just the off chance that you are interested in diversifying what you're investing in, would you be interested in investing in some real estate? Everybody wants to invest in real estate, right? But it's all in how you approach it. You see that confidence? Yeah, well, I'm going to close anyway. But I just wanted to give you, because we've been friends for a very long time, I wanted to give you first crack. I wanted to see if you would be interested in investing in real estate, right? Start having these conversations. Okay, Bob said yes. Cool, right? I don't have the deal right now. I don't have the deal right now. But I am actively looking. And every once in a while, when a good one comes, I got to act fast. And I want to know if you want to be in or not. I want to know if you're going to be in. So if so, let me know. I'll write your name on the list. Build that base. You don't have to have the deal. You guys get me? I strung someone along for 1.5 years like that. Hey, man, yo, I'm still looking, man. You still interested, right? Yeah, okay, I got you. Year and a half. Then eventually, oh, it's here. It's here. I told you it'd come. Build that base first. Don't allow the very first conversation to be, hey, I need $100,000. You in? Bro, what are you talking about? Right? I have no idea what you're talking about. You're in real estate? I didn't even know. Don't do that. That's the mistake. Everything else you guys said, fantastic. But even before that, make sure the people you think you're going to be raising from, make sure that they know that you're in the business. Right? Okay. All right, so this is the book that Matt Faircloth has written. It was published by Bigger Pockets, Raising Private Capital. You might get one if you win today, and if you don't, go buy it. Right? I think he makes $1 per book, so that's going to help him on when we raise the $60 million. Okay, so he gets $1 per book. All right, let's see. Yep. All right, so first, okay, so we're going to talk about what happens in the first 30 days. You want to set up your legal, right? Who said legal? I think it was you. Who said, oh, my man over there. Oh, let me go back. 506B, 506C. Anybody here have no idea what this means? Be honest, no idea. All right, awesome. So I'm going to teach you guys a whole bunch of good stuff. All right, so this is a syndication model. What happens is when you're raising money from people in a syndication model, syndication just means like you're bringing a whole bunch of people together, right, to do a deal. You're typically going to have two parties. General partner and a limited partner. And you guys are all familiar with an LLC, right? So there's going to be an LLC that owns the building. But the question is, who owns the LLC? It's going to be made up of the general partners and the limited partners. The general partners are the ones who do all of the work. They're the ones who found the property. They're going to rent it out. They're going to rehab it. They're going to raise the rents. They're going to property manage it. They're going to do the evictions, right? We handle all of that. The LP's job, the limited partner's job, bring the money. That's it. I don't need you to tell me what paint color to choose. I don't need you to tell me when to sell it. Nothing. Plus, you don't get to. That's part of the limited part. Really, it's like limited liability. It's limited everything, right? You go, Hone, I want in. Here's my money. And them giving me their money gives them an LP position in the LLC. They are an actual owner, okay? They are not lending me money. Big difference, right? Big difference. This is equity, not debt. Okay? Equity, not debt. They are the actual owners. And a lot of times, the structure in terms of the ownership and the payouts and everything, the limited partners own more. They'll have a 70% share ownership of the LLC, and the general partners have 30%. So when we sell the building and we make this giant check, a big part of that is cut to them, right? We as the general partners, we're working to make that 30%. Also, when it comes to cash flow, the limited partners often get something called a pref. That's the preferred return, okay? Pref for short, preferred return. So when you're in like networking events and you're like, hey, so what's the pref? You sound professional, right? But pref stands for the preferred return. All that means is when the project makes money, the limited partners are going to get paid first this preferred return. It's going to be something like 5%, 6%, 8%, whatever it is. They get the first 8% of the money, 6% of the money of the cash flow from the rental collection. They're going to get the first 6%. And then anything that's left over, right, that's split. 70% to them, 30% to the general partner. So the general partners incentivize to work harder and get the property performing better so that there is an overage, so that there is 30% that can go into my pocket, right? So that's the role, general partner, limited partner. Okay, so now, these two, 506B, 506C, these are the most used, I think. This is what I always hear in every meeting. 506B, 506C, this is the most used SEC structure for a syndication. SEC standing for Securities and Exchange Commission. Because the person that is a limited partner does not have an active role, they don't do any work, we need to file with the SEC and do one of these structures because it's like a security now. right? And so we have to register it. And then what you get in return when you register it from your attorney, your SEC attorney, is you're going to get a private placement memorandum, PPM. That document is this big fat document, right? That says, I don't know anything, I'm stupid, you're going to lose all your money, and here are all the risks involved, and all, right? Here you go, here's the PPM that they're not going to read, but here you go, right? And it protects everybody because what it does is ultimately it says like things can go wrong and you could lose your money, right? And not only that, not only can you lose your money, you have no control or say over it. Are you sure you want to give your money? Right? Then that is like, hey, that's what this situation is. 506B, 506C. Let's talk about the difference. Let's talk about the structure. 506B as in buddy. Okay? 506B as in buddy. 506B as in buddy means that you get to raise from your friends and your family, and you can include people who are not accredited. Okay? You can include people who are not accredited. Accredited meaning if you're single, you make $200,000 a year, and you are planning on continuing, right? $200,000 a year, and you're single, right? Some of you guys are thinking, $200,000 in single, where they at? Where are they at? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, right? Some of you guys got that, right? And then $300,000 if you're married, right? If you're married and you make $300,000 a year, then you're also an accredited investor. The other way to get in, so it's an or, not an and, is that if your net worth is $1 million or more, not including your primary residence. Right? A lot of people are like, yeah, I'm a millionaire. And it's like all in their house, like 100%, right? Okay, but you're not an accredited investor. Right? So $200,000 if they're single, $300,000 if they're married, or have a net worth of $1 million or more, not including their primary residence, okay? So that's an accredited investor. 506B for Buddy allows you to raise up to 35 non-accredited investors. So if they're not accredited, you can say, hey, you can join my 506B. Okay, so you can raise up to 35 of them. And it's unlimited in terms of accredited. Okay? 506C, let's talk about the difference. A 506C only allows you to raise from accredited investors. Think of C as credible. Maybe, I don't know, I'm just making that up. Right? 506C, accredited investors only. So it sounds like there's a big limitation. Like, why would I do a 506B if that allows me to raise from 35 non-accredited, and this one you can only raise from accredited? Why would you ever do 506C?
Higher risk.
Advertising.
There it is. You get to advertise. Here, you can't. Do not post, hey, I'm raising money for my deal if you're a 506B. Do not post it, flyers, nothing, because that's illegal, right? You can't do that. And if your deal goes bust and your investors want to sue you and they call everybody and their attorney goes to the SEC and says, hey, they go, how did you find out about Shamel's deal? Oh, well, he posted it on social media. Really? Oh. Then him and Sam Bankman-Fried go to jail together. No, I'm kidding. Right? 506C, you'll see it. Hey, I have this offering, I got this project, I got this. You can do that now, right? All of a sudden, you can get on your megaphone and talk to everybody. So 506B, in order to get people into your deal, you got to know them. You got to have a pre-existing relationship. Now, what does that mean? Pre-existing relationship. Does that mean I had to have been friends with them for 20 years? Or did I go to lunch with them once? Or it's vague. That's the at best.
Hard to prove.
It's hard to prove. There's a gray thing. So what do? You just do a lot. What do I mean by that? If we met, you gave me your business card, we talked, I email you, I make sure I email you, hey, it was so great to meet you and spend all that time together at that event, right? Paper trail, right? Covering your butt, right? You're making sure that you have a record of all of the things. If it's your friend and you're like, oh, look, here we are at my wedding. Here we are at dinner. That's easy. I just met you. Are we friends? You would think so. Yeah. Would the SEC think so? No. Right? You guys see? Document it. So great meeting you. Da, 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 da. Hey, you want to go get coffee? Hey, man, it was so great getting coffee with you on December 17th, 2020, right?
Take a picture.
Yeah, here we are, right? All of that stuff, right? So I just want to make sure that you guys understand that, friendships need to be documented. And he was right there. Do you see him right there? He was in the back. He was with me. Right? So that's the big difference, 506C, 506B. My question to you, which one's better?
506C.
Trick question, no such thing. Everybody's always trying to pick something better. Come on, guys, there's no such thing. There's no such thing, right? Money's money, the situations are different, right? When it comes to bigger deals, we typically go with the 506C because we need everybody to know what we're doing. So we need to expand our reach. We need to market. We have a lot of friends, but we might run out. And then if you're 506B, you're like, do you want to be my friend now? Right? And it's a hard thing. 506C, we're like, hey, we got a deal. Anybody look for a deal? Deal. So different. 506C when you're getting real big. 506B if you're doing a smaller deal. Let's say you're doing like a, $3 million deal, $2 million deal, and you needed to raise $1 million. A 506B, for most of you guys, would probably be perfect. You're just going to have a conversation. Hey, I'm doing this deal. It's a $3 million deal. I'm going to do a value add. And when we sell it in 5 years, we're going to sell it for $6 million. Do you want in? Oh, that sounds exciting. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I'm going to be doing the deal anyway, and I want to give my friends and family the first crack. You guys get it, right?
There's no cap on the amount of the deal, right?
There is no cap on the amount of the deal. So first step, what we talked about, you got to build a team. You got to build a plan, right? So assemble a good team of different people. Let's go into... Is that slide in here? Come on, where's that slide at? Oh, are you kidding me? Come on, give me that slide. Where's that slide at? Oh, Matt didn't include the slide in this. Okay. Anyway, so let me go back. There was a slide that I wanted. Okay. So let's talk about what we're going to be doing. Don't read this yet. Just pay attention to the words that I'm saying, not the things that are on the board, because I'm not going to be talking about this. All right. When it comes to assembling a deal, there's 4 main roles I want you all to remember. So write this down since it's not on here. And I need you to write it down because I need you to see it on your paper. First, there's a hunter. Who is it? Hunter, okay? They're the person who finds the deal. That's the first one, hunter. The second one is the brain. Who is it? The brain. I'm making you repeat it because, again, it's not on the slide, and I apologize for that, right? But I need it to ingrain in you because this is probably the most important thing that you're going to take out of this whole entire room, this whole entire day. You hear that, other speakers? You got to up your game. No, I'm kidding. The third person is the money. Say it with me. The money. Yes. And then the fourth one is the hammer. Who is it? The hammer. All right, let's talk about these different roles. This is for every real estate company. You guys are going to have this, okay? The hunter, the brain, the money, and the hammer. The hunter is the person who finds the deal. They're the ones who know about the population increase. They're the ones who know about the crime in the area. They're the ones who know about the job diversity. They know about the companies moving in. They know whether the job rates are going up or down, and they're picking a market based on that data, right? So that hunter is also the person who goes out there and meets with the brokers and the wholesalers and the everybody because they're the ones hunting for the deal. Now, these could be 4 different roles. These could be 7 different roles, right? Like 7 different people, 4 different people, 7 different people, 10 different people. Or it could be one person doing all 4, and a lot of you guys in this room are all 4, right? Yeah. As you grow, maybe you're going to find somebody to fill that role for you so that it's not you. Okay? You're going to find that person so it's not you. So the hunter is the person who's outgoing, energetic, meeting with brokers, used to getting no and going back out there anyway. Right? Their job is to find the deal. So they're hunting. Makes sense, right? Hunting. The next person is the brain person. That's the person who loves Excel spreadsheets. Give them an Excel spreadsheet. They sit there for 5 hours, and you go to them, and they're like smiling ear to ear. They love crunching the numbers. They like getting the data and putting it in there and creating a business plan around it. Because when you're raising money from your investors, you're going to be giving them a rate of return. And it's typically quoted in an IRR, internal rate of return. And you're going to say something like this deal has a 14% IRR with a 7% cash-on-cash return with a 2.6 multiple and all that kind of stuff, right? They're going to be talking like that. How do you know these numbers? Because the brain person put in all of your things, all of your rent projections, all of your expenses, all of the future expenses, and extrapolated, and then took your cap rate and decided to expand it or compress it or whatever. And that person will spit out these numbers. And then, I was telling you guys earlier, it was like a 70-30 split. Well, let's say you put a 70-30 split into your model based on the rent projections, based on the expenses going up because of inflation, based on cap rates expanding and this and that. The investor's only getting 10% IRR. Well, all of a sudden now, the brain's like, oh, well, let me change the equity split. Let me give them 80% and we GPs only get 20% or something like that, right? And all they're doing is tweaking dials to the point where they feel like the money person can then go out and sell it. Okay, so now, intro to the money. You guys see how I transitioned to that? Right now, we're at the money person. The money person is the one who knows everybody likes them, and they're out there saying, hey, we have a great deal. We have a great deal, and you guys as investors, you know how other projects you usually get 70% equity? Well, you're going to get 80, right? And it's all because of what the brain said. Hey, you need to sell it for 80 because otherwise the investor's not going to get enough return. They're going to put the spin on it, and they're going to go out there and find the people to put in the money, right? So that's the money person. That money person can be one person or multiple people. And so when we raise $20 million or $60 million, it's not just one money person. We bring on other money people, and then they go out into their networks and they bring in. So one person might say, I brought in $6 million, and I brought in $2 million, I brought in this, and right? And then as a collective team, we bring in $60 million to take down a project that's $180 million. Do you guys see? That's how it happens. And if you guys are lone wolves and all by yourself, you got to put on that hat. It's like, well, how much money can I raise on my own? Who do I know? Who can I talk to? And how can I start to expand that? Who can I become friends with? Right? So as a money person, you're just kind of thinking, like, can I expand my network of people I can bring in to do deals that I can raise from, right? And then the last person is that hammer person. The hammer person is also called the asset manager. The asset manager, that person does all of the work. They're the ones who manage the property manager. They're the ones who manage the contractors. They're the ones who do the tenant turnovers, all of that. They're the ones who take the business plan that we have and puts it into reality after we buy the property, right? After we buy the property, the asset manager's job is to make the project the way we said it was going to be, right? So that's the 4 main people on your team. Matt likes to call it seats on the bus. So it's a very small bus. It's got 4 seats. And those are the 4 seats on there. Then you're going to have a business plan. It's going to say things like why we want to do it. So major improvements in amenities. So we're going to add a dog park, and we're going to add a soccer field, and we're going to add this, that, the other, right? And then targeted interior unit renovation program. It's like these units have not been renovated for the last 10 years, and so now we're going to renovate the units, and we're going to be able to raise the rents, blah, blah, blah. Attractive assumable debt. This project has a loan on it that the bank allows us to assume, and that's at a very attractive rate because rates today are 7%, and this one's at 4%, and the bank's going to allow us to assume it, right? It's kind of like a subject to, but legal, right? Effective management, that talks about the team. Multiple income opportunities. This apartment complex currently doesn't allow pets. We're going to allow pets, and we're going to charge pet rent. We're also going to install a storage facility, and then we're going to add a billboard, and we're going to charge for covered parking, and this, and that, and that, and that, right? So multiple income opportunities. And then the last thing, can you move your shoulder 1 inch? Long-term hold. So we're going to be holding this property 7 years, 10 years, whatever, and then we're going to exit, right? So you have a business plan that the money is going to go out and sell. Like, this is an amazing, amazing deal. You guys want in. All right, so next. So offering memorandum. put together an offer. This is going to be like, I don't know, a 10-page, 12-page, 15-page, 20-page, 30-page report outlining the deal, why it's great, just like the business plan. It's going to show you, it's going to have a high-level overview of why this deal, and then on the pages to come, it's going to hone in, right? You get that? Right? It's going to hone in on the different aspects, into the different details, like the population growth is this and that and whatever, right? It's going to go into all of those details. Then what we're going to do to get that message out there is have a teaser campaign, okay? So a teaser campaign is where you're going to email everybody before you actually start raising. You're going to email everybody, hey, got a webinar coming up. I'm going to be talking about this amazing deal. If you guys need tax benefits, stay tuned, right? And then the next email is going to be like, hey, got this amazing webinar coming out. Going to have a 14% IRR. Stay tuned, right? And you're teasing them with all of the benefits of why they want to be in this because you are the prize. Hey, got this amazing deal. I am the prize. Stay tuned, right? You're doing this teaser campaign, and then you're going to host that webinar, right? So 30 to 60 days. So we're at the 30 to 60 day point, right? First 30 days, you're doing your due diligence. You're walking through with your plumbers and your contractors and all of that kind of stuff, right? You're doing that first 30 days. At this point, 30 days on is when you're going to start rolling out that money-raising activity because now you know how much you need because you've done due diligence, you've renegotiated, you said, hey, I need a credit for this, I credit for that. Hey, that water bill that you submitted, the 12-month of water bills that you submitted, don't line up with the P&L that you submitted to me, so you're lying somewhere, or there's fraud or something, and I need a credit back, I need you to do a price reduction, I need you to do something, right? So you've done all that, day 1 through 30. So now we're going to start raising money, right? And from that, you're going to send out those webinar teasers, right? And you're going to, hey, we're going to do this webinar, and I'm going to tell you all about this amazing deal. Because now you know the details. You know how much it's going to cost for the rehab, right? You're crystal clear now because you had your contractors, your plumbers, your roofers, your electricians. You have everybody walking through telling you. Also, you were able to get their credit backs and all that kind of stuff. So now you know you're going to do your webinar. So we're at 30 to 60 days. Okay, so most important topics to talk about. So a lot of people talk about like, hey, this is an amazing deal because you're going to get a 14% IRR, you're going to get 70% return, whatever, right? You're going to say all that. But the most important topic that you want to talk about is something like why real estate? It's not even about the details of real estate yet. You still got to get them sold on the idea of investing in real estate in the first place because there's competition for their money. There's stocks, there's crypto, there's bonds, there's foreign exchange, there's everything under the sun, right? Including them just starting their own business, right? So you have to convince them why real estate is great. Oh, real estate is safe and this and that, right? Whatever. You gotta come up with that. And then, why this team? Why you? Right? I am the prize. Oh yeah? Why? Because you said it? Because Hone made you guys say it? And why? Why are you the prize? So you got to know why your team is awesome. Next, why this city? So if you guys are invested in Cherry Hill, I don't know, right? You're like, because Cherry Hill's got the Cherry Hill Mall, it's awesome. You got to really sell it. So usually how syndicators sell it is by saying things like the population has been 2% or 3% year after year after year, and the job growth is this, and Amazon and Tesla and this and that, and everybody's moving into the city and blah, blah, blah. Really have a good, strong case. And then finally, why this deal? Oh, now, because it's 70% equity and 14% IRR and all that kind of stuff. People tend to start here, but you kind of maybe want to go this way, right? You want to go this way. So and sometimes people only talk about this part. All right, they only talk about this part, but they forget about all of these other things. So include all of that in your presentation. All right, so let's talk about why real estate. You might talk to them about the tax benefits. Hey, by the way, if you guys make a whole bunch of money and you're going to be paying the tax man a whole bunch, you should consider real estate investing, and you should consider being a part of my syndication because as an owner, because you're an equity owner, you also get the tax benefits, right? You're getting the cost segregation. You're getting the bonus depreciation. And if you're a real estate professional, you guys get to write that off against your income, right? If you're a W-2 worker and your spouse is not, and you make your spouse a real estate professional or have real estate professional status, reps as it's called, right? Now, all of a sudden, you can take your passive losses against your active income. That may be a little bit complex for some of you guys, but all I want you guys to gather from that is if you're a W-2 employee, I want you to marry a real estate professional. That's it. That's all I want you to do, right? But there's tax benefits, right? What else? Return on capital. Oh, we're going to offer you a 14% IRR. What do you guys get in the stock market today? -6? Okay, that sounds good. How about you put your money here? Right? Multiple exit strategies. Oh, we're going to give you income throughout. You're going to own equity in the property. If you want to stay in it for the long term, then we're going to exit 10 years from now, and then we're going to sell for a big fat check, and then you can reinvest it later and all that. Like, there's a lot of cool things you can do with real estate, right? Security. Unlike a stock where we have no control over what the CEO of the company or whatever is doing, here there's a lot of security because we're in control. Right? You remember when you were at my wedding? You know how I got you, right? I got you. Like, put your money in my deal. There's security there. And then maybe talk about like the dangers of stocks and crypto and all that kind of stuff, right? Maybe you scare them into your deal, like you're hurting them into your deal. Real estate, come on, real estate, right? So that's like the why. And come up with more. This is just an example that I want you guys to have. So next, like, talk to them about why this team. It's like, oh, we've been in business for this many years and we've done so many deals and this and that. So talk about the different team members, right? And what each person specializes in. Next is why this city. Again, there's going to be the median income is this and the job growth is that and this company's moving in, this and that and that and that and that, right? You can even create stuff like this. It's an overview. It's like, oh, our property is here. But all along, here are the other properties we're going to be competing against, but also here are all the different companies that are moving in, and this is where people like to hang out, and like really just give an overview of that city, why people would want to live there. Right? And now, why this deal? Again, because of the major improvements and the renovations to the interiors and the assumable debt and all, again, just details. Why this? Why that? Why this? Why that? All right, why this deal? Again, we go deeper into the details, right? Remember, it was a high level on page 1, but then as they go deeper into the offering memorandum, which is that big fat book that we tell them all about the deal, it's like, okay, we're going to give you a pref of this and a return of that, and you're going to have this much equity, and we're going to buy it for this price and sell it for that price, and here's your projected returns if you invested $100,000 with us and all that, right? So next, biggest selling investor tool. Biggest seller investing tool is webinars, but 506C, unless they're a 506B person and you're only like casually inviting them individually. Hey, by the way, I'm going to be doing a webinar where I'm going to show you guys how to do this. But like it's a conversation at lunch because you've been having lunch together for the last 3 or 4 weeks and documenting it all, right? And then you go, hey, by the way, I'm going to have a webinar. But this is one of the most powerful tools because what's going to happen is they're going to have 1 million questions, and then they're going to have 1 million more that they didn't know to ask you. But if you get everybody on that webinar, he has a question that he would like the answer to, but he didn't even know he had that question, right? And everybody's asking that. And then I've invited all of you to my webinar. Half of you show up. So the other half of you get the recording. Right? So you don't have to do it again. Time. Webinar saves time. All right, now, let's talk about the webinar tips. Record the webinar so that you don't have to do it over. You can just send it out over and over and over. Okay. Plan for at least 3 webinars. At least 3 webinars. Right? If you're trying to raise $60 million, think about, you're going to tell somebody, hey, I'm trying to raise $60 million. Some people are like, I'm in, I'm not in. This, right? And they sometimes just need to be reassured over and over and over. So have multiple touch points. Present your full offering. Go through all the details and all of in the whole webinar. In that one webinar, go through all the details. Don't be like, oh, I'm going to save that for the second webinar. No. Just do it and then do it again. And then do it again. And then do it again. Anybody here a parent, right? Anybody here a parent, right? Think about your kids. Hey, don't do that. Guess what they do? They do that, right? And then you keep telling them, don't do that until they finally hear you after the third or fourth webinar, right? So you tell them what the return is. You tell them what their equity position is. You tell them why the city's so great. They're going to be like, so what's our return? I told you already. Now you understand, right? You guys are no better than your kids. Use your megaphone appropriately. Remember, be legal. Don't go to jail. 506C, you can publicly market. 506B, private conversations. You can still have a webinar, but you have to privately invite them. No publicizing it. Credibility is important. So maybe you have a lot of deals under your belt, maybe you don't. And if you don't, maybe you want to partner with somebody who does, right? And so work together. Real estate can be a team sport. I know a lot of you guys are like Rambo, Army of One, whatever. I don't know. Just as you grow, if you see anybody who's doing more, it's because they're doing it together. There's more, right? Call to action. So at the end of the webinar, it's like, hey, click my Calendly link and then let's have a one-on-one conversation. Like have something. Oh, you're ready to go now? Here's my wiring instructions. Send money, right? You can do that. Call to action. Make soft commits, right? Okay. Anybody else? Anybody here in? Yeah. Anybody? Anybody interested? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Soft commit. They're not like wiring the money. It's just like, you said you're in. Are you a liar? Right? Are you a liar? Do you lack integrity? If so, that's fine. I just want to mark down that you lack integrity. Oh, no. I said I'm in. I'm in. Okay, cool. That's all I wanted. So make them do that. No, I'm kidding. All right. So what's going to happen? Webinar funnel. Right? You're going to have all these people coming in, and then they're going through, and it's like webinar 1, people drop out, webinar 2, and then eventually a small subset actually invests money. Just be prepared for that. Don't think, oh, I got 100 people coming to my webinar. Woo! I'm going to have like 100 investors. No, you're not. Set your 5. Set your expectations up correctly, right? Set them up correctly so that you just want to fill that up. If you go from 100 to 5, then put 1,000 in there, and then you have 50, right? That's all. That's all. Just know the game. Okay, so now, how do we do this? How do we actually raise the money? So you can use a software, $3 signs. InvestNext is what we use, and that's the software. It's like a CRM and money raising software, and it's very sophisticated. And they can go in there and they can see how much they've been paid and the pref and this and that, and all of the details, all of the paperwork that they need to sign, all that. It's all streamlined for raising capital. InvestNext was like, okay, syndicators, I created a software just for you to raise money. Or $1 sign. You can do it this way. You're going to do a Google form, and you're going to send it out to all the webinar people. Hey, if you guys attended this webinar, make sure you go check out this link to go on a Google form and fill out the Google form. After they fill out the Google form, you get on the phone with them. You get on the phone with them, and you get them soft commit, close. Okay, by the way, I'm going to send you this document. It's going to outline what you just said, that you are in for $100,000. Okay, I'm going to send it to you, and then you're going to sign that document. And then hold on. So right there, there's a line here. It's a soft commit that says, hey, you're going to give me $100,000. It's going to say your name, the date, and you're interested in investing in DeRosa Capital 12 or 16 or whatever, and you're in, right? And then they sign. That soft commit really means nothing. Other than, do you have integrity? Are you a liar, right? Because here's a document that you signed that you said you were in, right? Oh, Hone, my cat, the right? So now, you get that soft commit, and then when you're ready, you send documents that, like, wiring instruction, and then you email them, and then you actually get the money, right? So that's the step. So this is the cheap way, and then that's the paid, expensive way. One's not better than the other. Well, actually, no, that one's better. It just costs money. All right. What happens? You're trying to raise $1 million, but you only have $500,000 secured. You need $500,000 more. You go out and get more people, right? You just keep telling, hey, I have another webinar coming up. I got one more too after that, right? And you just keep going, more people. Or you call very specific people and you make changes to your offering. Or you call other money raisers now, right? You're changing the team, and you're like, hey, I need more help, right? So you're changing different aspects. Or maybe you're changing the deal altogether, and you're saying, instead of you guys getting a 14% IRR, you're going to get a 16% IRR. Because maybe you as the GP are willing to take less. So you need to make it sweeter so that people are more attracted to your deal, right? So you're going to make some calls, make some changes, right? Those are a couple of the changes that you can do. Or talk to more people. Keep posting. Tell other people to post for you, right? So now we're coming down to the wire. Coming down to the wire. So do keep pushing until all the money is in, and don't stop. Don't stop communicating with your investors. Now, whether it's syndication or not, this is one of the biggest things that I've seen people like just destroy their careers in this industry. Imagine you borrowed money from me, and then you didn't pay me back. Guess what I'm going to do? Tell all of them. Guess where you're not coming back to? Here. Suicide. I lend you money. You're having problems. I call you, you don't pick up, you ghost me, you run away, right? Who experienced that? That gentleman with the big arms, right? He was like, yeah, that guy took my money. So, and what happened was he's calling them, yo, where's my money at? Where's my money at, right? And they're not answering. But if you're having problems and I call you, guess what you should do? Pick up, right? Pick up. Hey, how's it going? Where's my money? Oh, and this is what happened. And this is how I'm trying to fix it. And this is the step-by-step of what I'm doing today and tomorrow and the next day. Okay. Next week, hey, where's my money? Hey, remember that plan I told you about? This is what has been happening so far. Okay, cool. Next week comes, you call me. Hey, Hone, I just wanted to update you. Okay. The situation is she still didn't pay me, but it's two very different situations. I'm going to see you at the meeting next week, right? Yeah? Okay, cool. Two very different outcomes. Two very different outcomes. One, she's banned from everything. Career suicide. The other one, stuff happens. I'm a human being. If I lent you money, here's the other thing. If somebody's lending you money, they probably don't need it. When I call my investors and I'm like, hey, I got to pay you back, they go, are you sure? Really? Do you have to? Because they're used to getting that money. They're used to getting that cash flow. They weren't doing anything with it anyway. The reason they gave it to me is because they wanted it to grow. Guess what it's doing? It's growing. When I go, hey, I got to give it back to you, guess what it's not going to do anymore? Grow. You sure? You sure you got another deal you want to put it in? No, not right now. Okay, I guess I'll take my money back, right? When I lent her the money, it's not because I needed to feed my kids. It's because I wanted it to grow. But she said that she would pay me back on December 15th. And now it's December 18th or 17th or whatever. Where's my money? Now it's like, it's not a matter of that I need it. It's a matter that you said what you said and you missed it. So now all I want is that communication. I understand stuff happens. Just explain that to me and show me that you didn't go to Mexico. I've seen too many people go to Mexico, right? Yeah, they close down all their social media accounts. It's like terrible. Just talk to your investors. Do not put your head in the sand. All right, let's see. What if you're still coming up short during your closing, right? This is Matt. This is Matt again. This is the face you make when you don't have enough money. So now, as a general partner, when you are buying properties, there's something special called an acquisition fee. So when you buy that property, you as a general partner, for putting that whole deal together, for meeting with all the brokers and all that kind of stuff, you're going to get paid up front an acquisition fee. It's like 1% to 3% of the purchase price. So you can imagine if you're buying this property and it's like $10 million or $20 million, that's a big fee. So what you can do is say, hey, I'm going to forego my fee so that there's more money in the deal, right? Or you can go out there and get a short-term loan. And it might be something private. You might be calling a friend and be like, hey, I know you didn't want to be in this deal as an equity partner, but how about if you gave me a loan for this instead, right? So there's creative ways that you can come about it. The other creative way that you can do it, maybe you need more time. Maybe you can't knock it out in 90 days. Maybe you need 120 days. So what's going to happen is you're going to raise enough money to purchase the property. You might have needed money for the rehab as well. Raise that after you buy the property, right? And so just give yourself more time. So there's creative ways that you can structure it. Okay. So can you move over? There you go. So what's most important? Making the most money for yourself or getting the deal closed and moving forward? It's obvious, right? Getting the deal moving forward. So foregoing your fee, maybe postponing your fee. Maybe you're not like foregoing it. You're just saying, I will get paid once the deal does well.
So front loading, back loading.
Backloading, right? My man came up, backloading the deal. Yeah, yeah. All right, so imagine you're going from this to then this, right? Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of units. It's crazy. It's crazy that like a small group of regular people just own all of this. It's nuts what you can do. So that's why it's important to remember that you're the prize and that you have this amazing offering for your friends and family to participate in. Because now you can genuinely say, you know, you guys own parts of this. And you investors actually own the majority of this. Isn't that cool? And so for some people, investing is like a way to make money. And for other people, it's just like, it makes them feel significant. It's like, wow, that feels good. It's cool, right? All right, so now, if you guys want to contact Matt and the Rosa Group and all that kind of stuff, here's a QR code that you guys can scan and get his information real quick. So while I got you fresh and all that kind of stuff, yeah, take pictures, do whatever. I got 3 more books that I got to give out because I don't want to bring them back with me. All right, all right. So first person to say 506B, how many non-accredited investors? Oh my God, I have no idea. I'm just I don't know. I'll let you pick. You can pick yourself or somebody. You can pick yourself if you want, or somebody. There you go. All right, all right. Let's see. Let me try to pick one that is more interesting. Okay, that was accredited investor. Okay, setting you up. Accredited investor. How much is the married couple need? Shit. Damn. All right, I'm going to hold on to this real quick. And then we got one more book. Okay. What's my Instagram handle? Somebody said it fast. I'm not going to. It's going to bang someone real hard in the head, right in the corner. All right.